The email arrived at 6:47 a.m. on an ordinary Tuesday morning. The subject line was only 4 words long. Important update regarding your role at Amazon. Double quotes. The subject line was only 4 words long. Important update regarding your role at Amazon. For more than 30,000 Amazon employees across the United States and around the world, that message didn't just signal a meeting or a department update. It represented the end of their careers at one of the most powerful, iconic, and influential companies on Earth. A company that once symbolized the future has now become the clearest warning sign of what the future truly holds. Within minutes, inboxes lit up, screens flashed, people froze in silence at kitchen tables, screens flashed. People froze in silence at kitchen tables and office desks, staring at a message that would unravel years of hard work, loyalty, and sacrifice. Some employees learned the news at home while getting children ready for school. Others were already commuting, reading the notification in shock as the train rumbled beneath them. A few were on video calls when access suddenly disappeared. Security badges stopped working. Calendar events vanished. Corporate accounts locked instantly. The digital doors closed as quickly as they opened. Calendar events vanished. Corporate accounts locked instantly. The digital doors closed as quickly as they opened. Amazon confirmed what rumors had whispered for weeks. The company would eliminate up to 30,000 corporate positions globally. Not warehouse workers, not delivery drivers. These were white-collar careers professionals with degrees. Many with master's and doctoral credentials. People who thought they had built stable futures. Software engineers responsible for core technology. Marketing managers who shaped multi-billion-dollar strategies. HR professionals who once hired and supported others. Marketing managers who shaped multi-billion-dollar strategies. HR professionals who once hired and supported others. Logistics analysts, product designers, data coordinators, and mid-level managers across every major division, Amazon Web Services, devices, retail operations, and more. To understand the scale, consider this. 30,000 jobs is larger than the population of entire American cities, like Bangor, Maine. It's the equivalent of eliminating every employee at Nordstrom or Chipotle nationwide. And more importantly, it's the largest corporate workforce reduction in Amazon's history, surpassing the 27,000 layoffs in 2022. But this time is different. This time is not about temporary financial pressure or cost-cutting driven by economic slowdown. This time is structural, permanent, strategic, calculated. A powerful force is driving this shift, the rapid acceleration of artificial intelligence capabilities that has reached a level of performance and scale previously considered years away. For years, industry experts predicted that AI would change the world eventually. Eventually arrived early. What makes these layoffs different is where they landed. When you study the internal restructuring, a clear and unsettling pattern emerges. Amazon is eliminating roles that AI systems can now perform faster, cheaper, and more reliably than humans. Human resources, teams, once staffed by recruiters, compensation analysts, onboarding specialists, have been dismantled and replaced by AI systems that can screen thousands of resumes in seconds and assess candidates across hundreds of skill variables simultaneously. What required rooms full of professionals 3 years ago now requires servers running machine learning models that never sleep. Inside the devices division responsible for Echo, Ring, Fire tablets, and smart home systems, entire layers of product development have been replaced by AI-driven design frameworks, where teams of engineers and designers once spent months brainstorming and prototyping. AI tools now generate product variations, analyze customer feedback, and run predictive simulations in days, not quarters. The human creative cycle has been outpaced beyond recognition. Even within Amazon Web Services, the beating heart of Amazon's profits and the backbone of global cloud computing, the paradox is stunning. AWS fuels the AI revolution for other companies, while simultaneously using AI internally to automate functions AWS employees once managed manually: customer support, capacity planning, system monitoring, resource allocation, infrastructure optimization. Tasks that once required thousands of workers now run autonomously around the clock. Marketing teams are shrinking because generative AI creates advertising copy, campaign visuals, and performance analytics with relentless precision. Logistical operations, once coordinated by human middle managers, are now executed by algorithms that predict customer demand weeks in advance, optimize delivery routes, and negotiate supply planning without human intervention. And here's the truth most people are unprepared for. Amazon is not doing this because business is struggling. The company is financially strong. Revenue continues to grow. AWS remains enormously profitable. Revenue continues to grow. AWS remains enormously profitable. Retail operations dominate global markets. This restructuring is not born from fear. It is born from power. This restructuring is not born from fear. It is born from power. The layoffs are happening because AI has reached the capability threshold, where it can replace entire categories of corporate work, not theoretically, but practically and immediately. In 2023, AI was a fascinating experiment. In 2024, AI became a powerful assistant. In 2025, AI became a full-scale replacement. In 2024, AI became a powerful assistant. In 2025, AI became a full-scale replacement. Jeff Bezos built Amazon on the philosophy of relentless efficiency, cutting time, cost, and friction wherever possible. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, has taken that philosophy and applied it with surgical precision. The logic is brutally simple. If an AI system can perform the work of 10 employees at 10% of the cost, with higher accuracy and zero downtime, the business case for maintaining human labor collapses. Inside Amazon's executive teams, the decision was framed not as an emotional or moral dilemma, but as mathematical inevitability. Every human employee removed and replaced by an AI system improves margins, increases speed, reduces risk, and strengthens competitive advantage. This isn't personal. It is arithmetic. Amazon is not simply experimenting with AI. It has invested billions into developing custom internal AI proprietary systems trained on decades of Amazon operational data, optimized to replace human judgment. These AI systems aren't using public tools. They are built specifically to automate Amazon's internal workflows with surgical accuracy. Once such technology exists, using human labor becomes an obsolete business model. While corporate workers are being eliminated, Amazon is simultaneously announcing its plan to hire over 250,000 seasonal warehouse and delivery workers, a move that reveals the company's long-term strategy. Amazon values temporary physical labor that machines cannot yet fully replicate. But those jobs offer limited pay, limited benefits, no stability, and no long-term path. They are placeholders, labor bridges, that will disappear when robotics and autonomous vehicles advance further. The message is unmistakable. Amazon is becoming a company designed to operate with minimal human labor at every level. Corporate functions replaced by AI, warehouses run by robotics, deliveries made without drivers, customer service executed by conversational agents indistinguishable from humans. And what is happening inside Amazon will not remain inside Amazon. It will spread. What is unfolding inside Amazon right now marks the beginning of a much larger transformation, one that will sweep across corporate America faster than most workers, executives, and policymakers are prepared to accept. This isn't a single company restructuring its workforce. It is a blueprint, a demonstration of what is possible when artificial intelligence reaches the level of capability where it becomes not just a tool, but a replacement. Every major corporation in America is watching what Amazon is doing. Boardrooms are studying the numbers. CEOs are comparing cost models. Investors are already asking a dangerous and unavoidable question. If Amazon can run its business with 30,000 fewer white-collar workers and maintain or even improve performance, why can't we? That question will ignite a chain reaction. In capitalism, every competitive advantage becomes an obligation. If one corporation can improve efficiency dramatically through automation, competitors must respond, or they lose. They fall behind on margins, on stock performance, on growth expectations. Shareholders demand action. Investors pressure leadership. And soon, every company must adopt the same model to survive. This means the Amazon layoffs aren't an isolated event. They are the opening shot of a restructuring that will sweep across every industry dependent on corporate, administrative, strategic, analytical, or managerial functions. Banking, insurance, healthcare, administration, accounting, consulting, education, management, legal processing, transportation planning, manufacturing operations, every field built on knowledge work and digital workflows stands exposed. The disruption will not happen gradually. It will collapse quickly because the economics are so extreme that hesitation becomes corporate suicide. A white-collar employee making $120,000 annually costs a company nearly $200,000 when benefits, taxes, training, and overhead are included. Now compare that to an AI system that performs the same function at a fraction of the expense. No breaks, no sick leave, no health insurance, no HR demands, no management, and no performance decline. For executives and shareholders, this is not a complex moral dilemma. It is a simple spreadsheet decision. It's a numbers game, and numbers are merciless. The people losing their jobs at Amazon are not failing employees. They are not unqualified or underperforming. Many are exceptional professionals with years of experience, strong performance reviews, and advanced degrees. They did everything society told them to do: work hard, continue learning, climb the ladder, build a career. None of that mattered, because the rules have changed. The value equation shifted, and almost overnight the skills that once secured economic stability became replicable by algorithms. For decades, workers believed that automation would threaten factory jobs, blue-collar workers, and physical labor. But something unexpected happened. Machines learned to think before they learned to replace hands. AI conquered the office before robotics conquered the warehouse floor. The threat moved up the economic ladder and struck at the heart of the American middle class. Highly trained workers who once felt untouchable are now realizing that routine corporate tasks, data processing, analysis, reporting, scheduling, documentation, and decision-making based on standardized inputs are precisely what AI excels at. These are repeatable cognitive functions governed by rules, criteria, and historical patterns. The kind of work most white-collar employees do daily. And here's the uncomfortable truth: the vast majority of corporate roles fall into that category. People think their jobs are unique. They aren't. They are structured processes, predictable outputs, and standardized decisions. Exactly the type of work AI replaces first. Yet, even as corporate workers are being displaced by AI, Amazon continues hiring tens of thousands of warehouse workers, drivers, and fulfillment staff. That contradiction reveals something profound about the future of labor. Amazon is splitting the workforce into two categories: those who do what AI cannot yet do physically, and those whose minds are competing directly against algorithms. The problem is that physical jobs are temporary. They offer no stability and no long-term strategy. Amazon isn't building careers. It's buying time. The company is accelerating warehouse automation, developing advanced robotics, and testing autonomous delivery fleets. The jobs being offered today are simply placeholders until machines become capable enough to replace them too. The image becomes clear. Amazon's long-term goal is a fully automated organization AI, making decisions. Robots moving products, software handling customers, algorithms controlling operations. A massive global corporation run by systems, not people. Human labor becomes the exception, not the foundation. The psychological impact of this new reality is already visible. For decades, Amazon symbolized opportunity, a place where talented professionals could build careers, innovate, and grow. Its name carried prestige. It represented the future. Now that same company is signaling something far more unsettling. The future does not need you. The social contract that once defined American life is dissolving. The promise was simple. Get an education. Work hard, become valuable, earn stability. But that promise collapses when value is defined not by your ability, but by whether AI can do the same thing cheaper. For millions of Americans watching these layoffs unfold, a dark realization is emerging. You can do everything right and still lose. You can follow the rules, commit your life to a career, excel at your job, and wake up one morning to an email that erases everything. People think layoffs are temporary, that workers will be rehired when conditions improve. That has always been the cycle. But this time is different. These jobs are not coming back. Not next quarter. Not next year. Not after a recovery period. They are gone forever, absorbed into code. Some employees remaining inside Amazon describe the atmosphere as surreal. Not panic, not anger. Something more unsettling. Resignation. A quiet awareness that the future of work is being rewritten in real time and that nobody is safe, no matter their title or experience. Executives insist that AI will enhance human workers, not replace them. That automation will free people to do more meaningful work. But that narrative collapses when thousands of people are escorted out and replaced by servers. Enhancement is not what's happening. Substitution is, and that substitution is accelerating faster than the public realizes. Technology experts, who once predicted a gradual shift over a decade, now admit privately that the timeline has collapsed. The future arrived early. The transformation, expected by 2030, became real in 2025. Inside private closed-door strategy sessions at major companies, leaders are preparing for their own workforce reductions. They won't announce it yet. They're watching Amazon develop the playbook. They're studying the market reaction. They're learning how to execute the transition without triggering panic. But the decisions have already been made. The strategy is already written. What has started at Amazon is not the end of something. It is the beginning. Across the corporate world, behind closed doors and away from headlines, a quiet urgency is building. Companies are accelerating plans to restructure their workforces long before the public understands what is happening. The executives are not asking if AI will replace corporate employees, they're re-asking how fast and how many. And the conversations happening internally are more direct, more aggressive, and far more transformative than anything being shared publicly. Technology leaders and financial strategists now privately acknowledge that AI has entered a phase of exponential capability growth, not incremental, not gradual. The systems being deployed today can learn from millions of data points every second, improve themselves, rewrite their own performance models, and handle increasingly complex tasks with precision. Every week, these tools evolve. Every month, they outperform previous versions. What seems impressive today will seem primitive in 6 months. The pace of advancement is outrunning human adaptation. Workers are trying to learn faster, but AI is learning exponentially. Corporations now face a simple choice: adapt or become obsolete. The organizations that deploy AI aggressively will operate with lower costs, greater efficiency, and stronger margins, forcing others to follow or die. Nobody can afford to lag behind. The stakes are survival. Inside Amazon's boardrooms, the calculus was brutal. The cost of maintaining 30,000 corporate employee salaries, benefits, office space, training, insurance totaled billions annually. The cost of building internal AI systems capable of replacing that workforce was a fraction of that amount. Once the financial model became undeniable, the decision was immediate. AI wasn't just an improvement, it was a revolution. Wall Street understood instantly. Investors rewarded Amazon with rising stock prices following the announcement. Market analysts praised the restructuring as visionary. Financial headlines celebrated efficiency and automation. The message was clear. The market will always reward AI-driven job elimination. And if Wall Street rewards it, every company must eventually do it. This is the new corporate incentive structure. Not just growth, not just innovation, automation at all cost. The quickest path to higher stock value is eliminating human labor. The fastest way to increase profitability is to replace salaries with software. This isn't emotional. It's rational. Businesses don't operate on sympathy. They operate on competition. In this environment, labor becomes an expense to delete, not a resource to develop. The consequences for society are profound. The layoffs at Amazon don't just affect 30,000 employees. They affect 30,000 families. They affect communities. They shake local economies built around tech workforce, restaurants, schools, real estate markets, service professionals, and small businesses all depend on high-income earners. When high-salary professionals disappear, the economic foundation supporting entire neighborhoods begins to crack. Cities like Seattle, Austin, and New York are bracing for impact. In Seattle, Amazon's corporate campus has shaped the city's identity and economy for more than a decade. Thousands of small businesses operate solely because Amazon employees are nearby to purchase their services. Now, storefronts are already reporting declining foot traffic, reduced spending, and shrinking demand. What happens when those customers disappear permanently? The housing market is shifting too. For years, Amazon employees drove demand for apartments and homes, pushing property values and rents upward. Suddenly, demand is softening. Real estate agents are reporting listings staying on the market longer. Condo developers are reconsidering projects. Mortgage insecurity is rising for workers who bought at premium prices, expecting decades of career stability. The ripple effects are unavoidable. When high earners lose jobs, they stop spending. When spending stops, businesses shrink. When businesses shrink, jobs disappear in every direction. The layoffs echo far beyond the corporation initiating them, but the deeper effect is psychological. Amazon has long represented the cutting edge of innovation and upward mobility. For many professionals, working at Amazon was the destination, a symbol of arrival, a validation of years of effort. Now that same company has delivered the message that no one is indispensable, that even the smartest, hardest working employees can be replaced instantly and silently, that the world has changed so profoundly that individual effort is no longer enough. That realization has shaken the foundation of the American professional identity. For generations, society promised security through education and dedication. But when algorithms outperform degrees and experience, that formula evaporates. What do people believe in when their work no longer protects them? This is forcing an identity crisis across the professional world. Workers are asking themselves questions that once belonged only in economic textbooks. What is the value of human labor in a world where machines think? What does it mean to build a career when careers collapse without warning? How do you create financial security when your profession could vanish overnight? Inside corporations that have survived early restructuring waves, employees live with quiet tension. Hallway conversations have changed. People monitor calendar invitations with anxiety. They avoid eye contact during unexpected meetings. Every announcement triggers speculation. Morale fractures. Productivity declines. Fear replaces creativity. Collaboration becomes guarded. The culture of innovation collapses under uncertainty. Executives insist the future will include humans and AI working together. But actions speak louder than corporate press releases. If the goal were partnership, 30,000 people would not be jobless right now. If the strategy were augmentation, not replacement, Amazon would be retraining, not eliminating. Workers who survived the layoffs describe a sense of detachment and instability. They know the next wave is coming. They know AI is improving faster than anyone expected. They know no one is truly safe. Some internal documents reveal a long-term plan for continued automation across broader functions: procurement, risk management, compliance, programming, assistance, and strategic analytics. As AI capabilities grow, each remaining job is being evaluated not by human performance standards, but by a single question: can AI do this yet? If the answer is yes or nearly yes, that role is already marked for elimination. Every process is being redesigned from the ground up, built for AI-first operation. Human effort is now being measured only in terms of necessity. When not essential, it is removed. And while corporate employees face permanent displacement, political and regulatory conversations remain years behind. Most lawmakers do not understand AI technology well enough to legislate it. Many still discuss automation as a distant possibility rather than an active reality already reshaping the economy. They react slowly while the transformation accelerates at unprecedented speed. The public remains unaware of the scale. The layoffs seem isolated. People assume normal business cycles are at play. But they are not watching what internal strategy teams are watching. They are not reading what executives are reading. They are not hearing what investors demand behind the scenes. The professionals losing their jobs today are not the last. They are the first. They are the warning. And the silence surrounding their fate is not accidental, it is strategic. Corporations are waiting for the moment when automation becomes normalized. When society becomes accustomed to headlines about job elimination. When displacement stops provoking shock and becomes routine. That moment is closer than anyone imagines. The transformation now underway marks a turning point not only for the workers directly affected, but for the future of employment, the structure of the economy, and the stability of society itself. What Amazon has done is not merely eliminate jobs, has exposed a truth that many have avoided for years. The modern economy is entering a new era where artificial intelligence will permanently reshape the nature of work opportunity and economic security. For decades, the American workforce was built on a simple idea. If you gain valuable skills, demonstrate commitment, and contribute meaningfully, you will be rewarded with stability and upward mobility. Corporate careers were the backbone of the middle class, offering health benefits, retirement plans, and predictable progression. That agreement defined life decisions: buying homes, raising families, investing in education, planning retirement. But what happens when that foundation disappears? When hard work is no longer enough? When a server farm running machine learning models becomes more valuable to a corporation than thousands of human professionals? This is the new reality. And no industry, no city, and no demographic is protected from what comes next. In private conversations with executives from companies across technology, banking, manufacturing, healthcare, retail, and logistics, a common theme emerges. Amazon is not an outlier. Amazon is the model. Every major corporation is now developing internal AI strategies designed not to assist employees, but to replace them. The question is not if they will do it. The question is when they will do it and how large the cuts will be. Experts now predict that within the next 12 to 18 months, additional massive layoffs will hit major tech companies, financial institutions, insurance corporations, and consulting firms. Microsoft, Google, Meta, and Apple are already testing internal automation systems designed to replace thousands of administrative, marketing, HR, and operations roles. Many of these systems are being piloted quietly to avoid triggering panic or public backlash. Within 3 to 5 years, the shift will expand into industries once considered stable and untouchable. Hospitals will automate administration. Law firms will automate research and documentation. Banks will automate financial analysis and lending processes. Universities will automate instructional support and grading. And government agencies will automate case processing. Within 5 to 10 years, the workforce structure will be unrecognizable compared to today. Corporations that once employed tens of thousands will operate with a fraction of that number. A new class of companies will emerge: hyper-efficient, AI-driven organizations powered by automated decision-making, robotic execution, and minimal human labor. The impact will rewrite the economy. The middle class, the engine of American growth, will face unprecedented pressure. Millions of displaced workers will find fewer and fewer roles that match their skill levels. Competition for remaining jobs will intensify dramatically. Wages may decline due to oversupply of labor. Economic inequality will widen as wealth concentrates around those who own, build, or control AI systems rather than those who work within traditional employment structures. This raises urgent questions that society has not yet answered. How will we support millions of workers whose jobs disappear permanently? What happens to consumer spending when the majority of consumers lack stable income? How do we preserve dignity and purpose for individuals when automation outpaces opportunity? These are not theoretical questions for future generations. They are immediate challenges for the present. Yet, while the scale of disruption is unprecedented, the path forward is not hopeless. But it requires clarity, urgency, and action. Not wishful thinking, not denial, not nostalgia for a world that is already gone. For workers facing this new landscape, survival depends on adaptation. The old formula earn a degree, specialize, stay loyal, no longer guarantees protection. The new formula is different, and it begins with acknowledging reality. If your job relies primarily on processing information, analyzing predictable patterns, coordinating routine tasks, or communicating standardized outputs, you are replaceable. Not because you lack talent, but because AI excels at these functions more efficiently than any human ever could. These jobs are disappearing permanently. The workers who will remain valuable in the decades ahead fall into several categories. 1. Individuals who build, train, or manage AI systems. Machine learning engineers, data scientists, AI trainers, automation architects, and algorithm auditors will be in extremely high demand. These are the people who develop the systems replacing others. 2. Individuals who manage complex human relationships. Roles requiring emotional intelligence, trust, negotiation, and high-stakes judgment cannot yet be replicated convincingly by AI enterprise sales. Major client relationships, complex partnership management, executive consulting, and diplomacy remain human-driven. 3. Individuals who innovate rather than optimize. AI can analyze patterns and iterate. But genuine, original creativity, the ability to invent something entirely new, remains a uniquely human advantage. 4. Individuals working in unpredictable physical environments. Robotics has not yet mastered fine motor control and adaptability. Construction, electrical work, plumbing, emergency response, inspections, healthcare delivery, and specialized technical trades retain human advantage, though this window will eventually narrow. 5. Entrepreneurial individuals who leverage AI to create value. Small, agile builders who learn how to deploy AI tools creatively can now compete with the scale previously available only to Fortune 500 companies. These directions are not theory, they are survival strategy. Workers must begin shifting now. Waiting is dangerous. Hoping that your industry will be different is denial. The only people who will thrive are those who treat adaptation as urgent and continuous. Beyond individual strategy, the broader society must also confront new realities. Policymakers will need to rethink education, taxation, labor protection, economic safety nets, and the distribution of wealth generated by AI-powered productivity. Traditional frameworks, 40-hour workweeks, salary-based identity, retirement systems tied to employment, may no longer align with reality. And yet, while leadership debates slowly, the transformation accelerates relentlessly. Make no mistake, what Amazon has done is a warning shot. It signals the beginning of a global restructuring of work. Millions of jobs will not be paused. They will be erased. Entire professions will vanish. Generations will need to redesign their futures in real time. The workers laid off at Amazon today are not the victims of failure. They are the first casualties of a new economic era. The shockwaves of their displacement mark the start of a massive transition that will define the next decade. The question now is simple and unavoidable. Will we watch this disruption unfold passively and be crushed by it? Or will we prepare, adapt, and build new paths before the wave hits? Because the future is not waiting. It has already arrived. And it does not care who is ready.